In 1966, a Miami boy smuggled 3 giant African land snails into the country. His grandmother eventually released them into the garden, and in 7 years there were approximately 18,000 of them. The snails are very destructive and need to be eradicated. A says, assuming the snail population grows exponentially, let's underline that, write an expression for the population P in terms of the number T of years since their release. So exponential growth, if P is our population and then T is our time, then we need to say P would equal the initial amount and then 1 plus the rate, and then T is our time. So then let's figure out what the rate would be so we could write an expression for the population. So our initial amount of snails, it says that he brought in 3 giant African land snails, and now there are approximately 18,000 of them. Wow. So 18,000 is the current final amount of what we're looking at. 3 was his initial amount. We need to put 1 plus R, and that took 7 years. So put in the 7. Now I'm going to go over here on the right side of the screen and type this into Desmos for just a second and find where they touch, because that's a quick way to figure out that rate. So 18,000 equals Y is my first equation, and then 3 times 1 plus R, but I don't want to type R. Desmos does not like different letters. So let's make it into X, and then to the 7th power. Okay, so I've got everything typed in. I need to find where they touch. Notice 18,000 is a really large number for Y. So go over to that little wrench at the top right side of the screen and watch what I do there. So you have Y, and the highest value of Y I could change, let's say to 19,000. I always like to make it a little bigger than what the number is so it shows up on my screen. And then I can quickly see where they touch right there, which is 2.465. So let's come back over here to the left, and we've got the rate that we figured out really nicely with Desmos. So 2.465. Now, that's our R value. That's actually a very large percentage. That's 246.5%. So to write our expression, because that's what the question was asking, write an expression for the population P in terms of the number T of years. So we would say that P would equal an initial amount of 3, and then 1 plus 2.465 to however many years you would be looking at. You don't have to look at the 7. They could look at it down the road and use the same formula. And then P equals 3, and they might go ahead and add to make that 3.465 as one number. So you could see it written either way. Sometimes they leave it spread out as 1 plus the rate, and sometimes they go ahead and combine it so it's like our B value we call for exponential equations. All right, so part B says you must present to the local city council about eradicating the snails. To make a point, you want to show the rate of increase per month. Convert your expression from being in terms of years to being in terms of months. So what we could do is let's write out what we need for months. So we'd have A 1 plus R over 12 months. Let's just write the first formula there. So let's put N. Let's review. N would just equal 12 because they're talking about monthly increase. And so then you still have 18,000 snails. Your initial amount was still 3. We are going to look for the rate again, but divide it by 12 this time. And then 12 times 7 years is our time now because we're in terms of months. So then that would be 18,000. 3 times 1 plus R over 12 to the 84 months would be our exponent. So over here in Desmos, I'm just going to alter what I have to match the new second part of the equation. So 3, let's type 1 plus X divided by 12. Ooh, let me scoot over and put a big parentheses, and then to the 84th power. So then it's already on my screen because I've changed my y maximum number. So it shows up really quickly right there. So I've got the rate is 1.309. And so then we can write the expression. We're converting our expression in terms of months. So let's put P equals 3 and then 1 plus 1.3 over 12 and then put 12t. So let's see. So that would be all we need for that one. And we could go ahead and clean that up. So if we do 3 and then 1 plus 1.3 over 12, let's calculate. What is 1 plus 1.3 divided by 12? And it's down there in the bottom of that little box. So that would be 1.1. So you could see it written either way. And that would be it for example.